G'day legends. So I was listening to MMA Zone this morning and I came across an argument that's been going on in the MMA community for a couple of weeks now, ever since Dana White kicked it off, and I'm surprised that this argument is still happening. I'm surprised that this point even needs to be made. It all kicked off with this. Dana White a couple of weeks ago, look down here, November 8th, 2025. Whoever wants to debate it with me, Kamaru Usman is the greatest welterweight of all time. Now this has all come to a point today. Like I said, if you have been listening to MMA Zone, which I like to listen to all the time, they are great. Shout out to the MMA Zone. But obviously, like, Dana White went and said this. A reporter asked Tyrone Woodley about it. You know how Tyrone Woodley gets. Tyrone Woodley got all up in his emotions and his feelings about it, calling himself the realest welterweight of all time. Whatever the fuck that means, Tyrone, however you want to justify it to yourself. And I do think Tyrone does get smudged completely whenever we have a general overall GOAT discussion, which is kind of sad because even though Tyrone Woodley did end his career in the most boring and embarrassing fashion I have ever seen, with the way that Kamaru Usman just smudged him and left him standing there like a little boy in his tidy whities and then losing to Jake Paul, the ramp up to Tyrone Woodley was quite exciting. Him being a champion, he was quite dominant, but the problem was that he was always fighting with the UFC, and you know how that gets. You get smushed down by their promotion. Tyrone Woodley during the BLM era was one of the most unsufferable things I've ever witnessed with my eyes. But Tyrone Woodley obviously responded to Dana White talking about this.
Roll your eyes and just say, like,
Kamaru is not the greatest welterweight of all time. Nobody. Okay, I'm the realest. I had the realest route. I had the realest reign.
What does that even mean? I'm the realest welterweight. Dude, what does that even mean? Anyway, so, and this isn't, it would make sense that it's just going on between Tyrone Woodley and Kamaru Usman. You know, Kamaru Usman heard Tyrone Woodley's entire speech. I'm not going to play it for you because it is insufferable. But, you know, Kamaru Usman hears the entire situation. Kamaru Usman's like, well, dude, why do you hate me so much just because I smushed you? But even Carlos Prates as well is saying that Kamaru Usman is the greatest welterweight of all time. And this is what got me so worked up and, you know, wanted to make this video, because even modern fighters are like, yeah, it's Kamaru Usman.
Kamaru won the fight for the belt, but also he's the GOAT of the welterweight division. So
nah, come on. Wait, first of all, he ain't no GOAT to the welterweight. What? Have you heard of a guy named George St. Pierre?
Rare Aerial W. On God, rare aerial W. What the hell is going on? Are people just forgetting about our boy GSP? Like, I'm sorry, but what are we doing here? Why do we even need to have this conversation, right? Kamaru Usman, yes, he was a great welterweight champion, but he's arguably the second or the third best welterweight champion. You know, Matt Hughes exists as well. I'm sorry, but Kamaru Usman has 5 title defenses, yet George St. Pierre has 9 title defenses. And people want to talk about, I get it, in the modern era, people want to argue about quality over quantity, but look at Kamaru Usman's 5 title defenses. 2 of them are Colby Covington, which is amazing. Gilbert Burns, quite good, deserved to be there, top 5, fair enough. That's 3 awesome title defenses. 2 of them are Jorge Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal was a UFC player. He was blown up and pushed into superstardom because of that sick knee. But that, like, 2 Jorge Masvidal title defenses are not massive, insane title defenses of note. You know, whereas George St. Pierre has got 9 of them. And in that, you've got Matt Hughes, you've got BJ Penn, you have got Nick fucking Diaz, right? In that, you have got huge legacy names, as well as the people that deserved to be there in the top 5. You know, your Carlos Condits, your Dan Hardys, who people laugh at now, but at the time, much like Gilbert Burns, they deserved to be there. And then you've got the old argument of, yeah, but, you know, it was different back then because the sport has just evolved so much more, man. It's the modern era. I can hear Lucas Tracy's voice when I hear that. It's the modern era though, man. Kamaru Usman did it in the modern era. This is code for I don't know what the fuck I am talking about. When GSP was on his title run, the MMA had been well established for a long time. In fact, MMA had been established in the world before it came over to the UFC, before it came over to America in the form of the UFC. They were doing it in Japan, but even still, all the way up to like UFC 40. Yeah, MMA was being globally tested and people around the world were fighting each other. You know, that like there was a decent structure for MMA, and kickboxing, boxing, jiu-jitsu, and wrestling all being mixed together had been percolating for like 15 to 20 years, right? And it's not really like, yes, MMA is better these days, but it's not really that much better. It's not leagues ahead better where you've got to throw out everything that George St. Pierre did, these 9 title defenses, just because Kamaru Usman did it in an era 5 or 7 years later. Like, may I remind you that DDP became a champion in the modern era. Look at the way DDP fights, yeah? Yuri Prohaska has become a champion in the modern era and is pushing Alex Pereira to his limit. And Yuri Prohaska said in the most recent round that he's ever done in MMA, his most recent fight of his most recent round, I quote Yuri Prohaska, "I raised my hands to protect my face. I've never done that before. I'm surprised it worked so well." Yaquin Buckley became the 7th ranked welterweight in the world, the most competitive in the division in the world, while his coach works at fucking IHOP, by the way. Have you seen RDR turn over a punch? Have you seen RDR throw a fucking punch? He was considered a welterweight contender. The modern era. That's the modern era. But it's the modern era. Joshua Van is fighting for a title this weekend. He just fucking got here a few years ago. And I mean to the sport, not just to the world, he's so fucking young. To the sport in general. The whole, yeah, but 5 title defenses in the modern era. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what you were talking about, and it pisses me off. Also, we need to talk about this, right? Not just the title defenses. Not just the title defenses. George St. Pierre moved up to middleweight, and yes, it was against Michael Bisping, but I'm sorry, this happened. He moved up to middleweight, and he won. Kamaru Usman moved up to middleweight, and yes, it was short notice, and yes, it was a very close fight. I give him all of those props, but they've both had campaigns at middleweight. One of them was successful, one of them was not. One of them has more title defenses than the other one. One of them does not. One of them has got more legacy wins than the other one. One of them does not. One of them, George St. Pierre went back and avenged every loss. When George St. Pierre loses to Matt Hughes, when he loses to Matt Serra, this is only because these people have Matt in their name. But when he loses to them, he avenges his loss. When Kamaru Usman loses to Leon Edwards, he flies out to England and loses to Leon Edwards. I like Kamaru Usman. This is going to come off sounding like a Kamaru Usman hater, but I have to do a lot of work actually in my live streams to convince people that Kamaru Usman was actually quite good. But to compare Kamaru Usman to GSP is to simply be ignorant of the sport. GSP is better than Kamaru Usman on paper in every way, in every single way. It's shocking to me that it's even fucking debatable. I don't understand in what world you debate that Kamaru Usman is above GSP in the welterweight GOAT conversation. How? GSP's got more title defenses. He's also got the quality as well, because people for some reason like to think that quality didn't exist back in 2007. For some reason, everyone was just a fucking retard that didn't know how to fight. And today's fighters are just phenomenal. They're completely different. They're so far ahead of the game. Alex Pereira is the best kickboxer in the world that has, in quite literally record time, he broke Ronda Rousey's record. The best kickboxer in the world came into MMA and became a 2-division champion. But somehow the fucking modern era is just so far ahead of the old era, GSP just has to get thrown in the fucking bin. Even though GSP is a 2-weight champion, Kamaru Usman is a 2-weight failure. He failed at middleweight. It was short notice. It was against Khamzat Chimaev, but Khamzat Chimaev wasn't even the champion at the time. Khamzat Chimaev was a contender. So, you know, it all washes out. Like, Bisping was a champ. He had time. However, Kamaru Usman, he didn't have time, but Kamaru Usman wasn't a champ. He was just a contender. So, you know, they sort of level playing field. One was successful, one wasn't. One has 9, one has 5. One avenged his losses, one lost to Leon Edwards twice. Didn't avenge his losses. How the fuck do you sit there with a straight fucking face and tell me that Kamaru Usman, Dana, you dumb, bald fuck, who is consistently ruining the fucking sport, Dana, fuck you, Dana White. How do you sit there with a fucking straight face saying that Kamaru Usman is the greatest welterweight of all time? And you're the head of the fucking company. Your promoting sucks. You don't understand the fucking sport. Your matchmaking sucks. I fucking hate Dana White. I hate him so much. God damn it, man. God damn it. Anyway, that is that. If this is your first time here, g'day, welcome. Had to get that off my... I've been hearing it for 2 weeks. I know I was just wrapping up, but this is why I'm blowing up about it. Look at the date of the post, November. I've been hearing it for, what is it now? It's now the 5th of December. I've been hearing it for a month, not 2 weeks. For a fucking month. Every day, I listen to the news, I check my MMA Twitter, and this shit just slips in. People talking about how Tyron Woodley and Kamaru Usman are going off because Kamaru Usman thinks he's the welterweight GOAT. This just slips into the conversation. All month, people have just been saying, Kamaru Usman is the welterweight GOAT. I can't fucking take it anymore. No, he isn't. Not even close, actually. Right. If this is your first time here, now let us wrap up. G'day and welcome. My name is Dougie. I make MMA content all the bloody time, and I go live all the time as well. My little live thing is still playing. It's meant to be paused on just my socials, but that doesn't matter. Click on the subscription and the notification bell to know when I go live and to know when a new video is posted. Pause, damn it. Let me know down there in the comments. There's nothing to say. There shouldn't be any comments. I should not receive any backlash for this. This is as obvious as the sky is blue, but it's MMA YouTube, so someone will argue with me in the comments. So put your arguments down there in the comments for why Kamaru Usman is the GOAT. You're wrong, but go nuts. Like the video if you like the video, and I'll see you guys. Oh, bloody legends of the channel, the guys who support the channel so much. Thank you. Your names are up on the next slide. The top 10 best pickers in the Dougie's Corner live stream community. Shout out to you guys. Your names are up on the next slide as well. We're doing the picks tonight on the live stream. And that's it. Wherever you guys are in the world, have yourselves a great time. Goodbye. Bye. Bye.